gentlemen, welcome to LEAP. Actually, thanks for having me. It's a great honor to be here. Today, we would like to discuss all together how we can address the world's largest, biggest challenges. And actually, there is no better place to do it like here in Saudi Arabia. Because with the Vision 2030, the country, the kingdom, actually has all the ingredients to take a leadership position in this massive change, which is ahead of all of us. It's about diversifying the economy. It's about putting sustainability at the heart of everything what the country does. And it's not only about technology, it's also about embracing the next generation. Like we heard in the panel before, investing into the next generation education is key. SAP is running 400,000 customers in over 25 industries in round about 180 countries in the world. And what we have seen during COVID in the pandemic is that the countries, the enterprises, who are actually embracing the transformation, who are investing in new technology, are actually the ones who are coming out stronger, more competitive out of this crisis, while others falling more and more behind and really lack this competitive advantage. So it's time to act. So talking about the biggest business challenges, what are the topics, what are these challenges which keep CEOs, politicians awake during night? What is that? We would like to bring it down to three main challenges. First, it's about the business transformation. No matter if your business is doing good money today, you really have to change. You have to adapt to new digital business models. Because in the future, your consumers, your customers expect more. They expect a personalized offering across the supply chain. They want to have offerings tailored to their needs. They want to see proactive support services at the time when they need it. And what they also expect, a very resilient supply chain, which is actually able to deliver the goods, the products, the services next day. Talking about business transformation, it's also about using new technology to automate processes in your company, to automate operations, get rid of bureaucracy, to increase the level of productivity in your enterprise. The second biggest challenge, we have all seen the supply chain shocks in many, many industries. During COVID, there is still a big lack of raw material. There is a lack of semiconductors. And why? Because still today, too many enterprises are doing business by their own. The key is to come together in a network, to connect suppliers, buyers, logistic providers, to have real-time transparency across the supply chain, to react much faster to the demand shocks we have seen in the last year. And last but not least, sustainability. Sustainability is actually one of the biggest challenges of our community. The climate change is real. And your customers, your employees, your investors care. In the future, the buying decisions, they will not only be about who has the best product, who has the best price, it's also about how sustainable an enterprise really is. So these are the three main challenges what we see across the globe, across any industry. Now, how can you solve these biggest challenges? And it's not only about a technical migration to the cloud or adapting to new technology. It needs more. Our ambition, SAP's ambition, is to really reinvent how countries, how whole industries, how enterprises are running. What we are doing is, first, to transform every customer into an intelligent enterprise, to infuse artificial intelligence so that your sales team knows what is the best offering for your consumers at the right point of time, using billions of data to really analyze what are the needs of your consumers. An intelligent enterprise also has a personalized supply chain. to make sure that we automate manufacturing, that we automate your warehouse operations, but we also enable you on the logistics side to do home delivery, to do next day delivery, to really provide this seamless experience end to end. What we're also doing is to build the world's largest business network. And I come with a few examples later on. Again, in a digital world, no one does business alone. You have to connect to millions of suppliers, logistic providers, manufacturers, to really see how can you really cope with the demand and really adjust your supply chain in real time. That gives this competitive advantage. This really, needs to come together on one platform, on one business network. And last but not least, in the past 50 years, SAP software helped to manage the top, the bottom line. In the future, it's also about the green line. So 9 out of 10 warehouses supply chains are running SAP, and we put a lot of engineering focus on, really also managing the green line. What does this mean? We have ESG as a standard in our solution. So in the future, you see the gross margin of your products, the growth of your products, but you will also see the carbon footprint, the diversity in your company. To not only have high sustainability targets and ambitious ones, but also to have the transparency, to act on it. And we will also innovate with our solutions to move into the circular economy, to decarbonize the supply chains. Take action is equally important as in the first step, of course, having the transparency. So it's about managing the top, the bottom, and the green line. Now, a lot of customers, when they are talking about these business challenges, when we talk about new technology like artificial intelligence, like blockchain, the key question is always, how do I do that? Because a business transformation, a transformation of this scale, of this magnitude, requires more than technology. It requires courage. It requires a cultural change to realize that something has to change, that we have to change our offering from oil and gas moving to renewable energies, retail moving to omnichannel. So what do? We actually launched RISE with SAP. And there we are taking the best practices from our 400,000 customers and really make sure that once a customer is investing into new technology, that we are also changing the way how a company runs. That we show our customers, how do these digital business models work? How do business processes need to change inside an enterprise? And we are not doing this only verbally or with PowerPoint. We are actually using data. We are benchmarking. We are using the best companies in the world and showing our customers, here's the way to go. This is what works. This is what works in oil and gas. This is what works in the public sector. This is what it works in retail. And we have that for every industry. And this business process redesign is key. Because if you're not changing the way how your public sector, how your enterprise runs, the new technology will also only have limited impact. And then in the next step, we talk about how can we now automate, how can we now increase the productivity layer by using machine learning, by using RPA, by using these new technologies to infuse this intelligence into the operations of your company. But again, it's a business model change, it's a business process redesign, and then on top, moving to the cloud and applying all of these new technologies. And then key, when you're doing this transformation, always have sustainability in mind. Yeah? Every business process you design, it's about making more growth, coming to a higher productivity level, but what can we also do in the redesign to decarbonize the supply chain? So that's equally important to connect these new innovations to the change you are doing. And at the end, our promises, our commitment stands. We want to turn every single customer into an intelligent and sustainable enterprise. And we want to safeguard, we want to actually guide our customers towards this vision. Now, let's talk about some concrete customer examples. Yeah? So, the Virgin Megastore here in KSA, they actually came to us 1 year ago and said, hey, we urgently need to change the way how we are doing business. Our sellers are putting way too much efforts into administrative tasks. So we analyzed the processes in the store. We infused AI so that the sellers have more time to spend time with the consumers, with the clients, and hopefully then at the end of the day also sell much more. We also accelerated the growth of this mega store here in KSA, because now the sellers know exactly what the consumer bought last time. They know the trends worldwide. They have access to data which shows them, okay, what is the need of these consumers? How can we position the best offering to, at the end, accelerate the growth? That's an example what we did here, right here in the region with the virtual megastore KSA. Saudi Aramco. We are very, very happy to have this customer, and we are doing huge co-innovation. Aramco is doing a big transformation, moving to renewable energy. So we are now moved 64,000 users to a new system, to a new innovative ERP solution, to make this business model transition work, to offer new renewable energy, to decarbonize the supply chain. And our engineers are sitting here, right here in the region, to co-innovate, to think about new ways of doing business. And this is what really matters, to get on the ground, to understand what a customer in oil and gas needs, to co-innovate together and use the technology to actually drive more sustainable outcomes, in this case, for Aramco, which is one of the largest installations worldwide. I talked about the business network, and this is powerful. Again, I talked about the supply chain shocks. 75% of the enterprises worldwide were actually impacted in a negative way by the supply chain disruptions in the last year. And every one of them told us, we have missing transparency when it comes to the supply chain. So what did we do? We asked our customers, we asked the manufacturers, the suppliers to all join us, come together and real-time connect in this business network. 8 million suppliers, logistic providers, manufacturers are now connected. So with every change in demand you have real-time visibility, track and trace with blockchain. Are all my suppliers ready to deliver? Will the product come in time? Do I need to react? Do I need to also choose another supplier? And you can make conscious decisions, because we not only have now track and trace across the supply chain, we also measure carbon. So suddenly you don't only know your carbon footprint within your own enterprise, you can have visibility about what is actually my carbon footprint for my product across my supply chain, including all the suppliers and manufacturers I have. One powerful example is actually Catena X. Catena X is a huge, huge initiative where all the world's largest car manufacturers joined the business network. So Volkswagen, Daimler, BMW, Toyota, General Motors, they joined with all of their suppliers. And now, when something breaks in the car, they have real-time visibility down to the raw material, actually. What is the issue? What was the root cause? So much better time, faster time to fix quality issues. You can keep your supply chains more resilient. And again, they also now have real-time visibility across the carbon footprint of their supply chain. And we are doing this industry by industry. Aldara, very good customer, also here from the region. Aldara actually also had the supply chain shock during the pandemic. They came to us and said, hey, we really have shortages now in getting our products out in time, to get the logistics done. So we connected them to the business network within only 3 days. And actually what we did is we hold the supply chain very resilient. They had access to hundreds of new suppliers, and actually they were able to increase the growth in times of the pandemic by having a really resilient supply chain superior to the ones of their competitors. Now, being here in Saudi Arabia, of course, we have to talk about the Vision 2030. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, this is a bold vision. And it's the right vision. And I also would like to do certain announcements today. How can SAP contribute to that? First of all, during my last visit, we already made a decision. SAP will invest into a digital government platform to provide the digital services, to reduce bureaucracy, to also give a better seamless experience to all of the citizens here in the kingdom, and really digitize, increase the level of effectiveness, the productivity of the government here in Saudi Arabia. But that's not everything. On top, what we said, we are going to invest into a new innovation hub here also in Riyadh. It's all in a digital transformation to solve these biggest challenges. It's all about co-innovation. So we invest into engineers focusing on the transformation of oil and gas, of retail, of tourism, of a few other industries to really make sure on the ground we are co-innovating, we are innovating here in the country. And we will take startups with us because our platform is open. So we will also invest into local startups to really make this transformation work, also with local SMEs here from the country. Also, we are going to expand our data footprint, our data center, because sovereign cloud is key. Data protection, cybersecurity. We will further expand our data center footprint here in the region and will comply with all cybersecurity standards and make sure the data stays here in the country and that we have here a local team also operating our cloud for Saudi Arabia out of the country. Sustainability. As I mentioned, what we are doing with Saudi Aramco, we want to co-innovate with the utilities companies here, but also across many other industries to see what can we do to contribute to the Vision 2030, to contribute to the carbon footprint objectives the country has. And as I laid out, technology can play a key part in that, in providing the transparency around ESG and then having smart, innovative solutions to move into circular economy and to decarbonize the supply chain. And last but not least, the transformation, it's all about the people. Investing in education, taking the next generation, the young people with you. And this is why, besides our investments into a new innovation hub here in Riyadh, we also want to invest as SAP into the next generation. So we will take young people here from the country and bring them to our engineering academies to learn about cybersecurity, to learn about AI, to learn how you master, what changes do we see in certain industries, to really get the expertise to these young people and then bring them back and help us, support us with the transformation here in the kingdom. And vice versa, we're also investing here with some strong universities here in Saudi Arabia, also in educating the people here on the ground with all of these new capabilities, what this next generation needs to have. Because at the end, you can have the technology, but what you also have to have, you have to have the people, you have to have the capabilities here in the country. And that's actually a great showcase for every country in the world. And this is why we are so happy to announce that we're going to support the Vision 2030 with investment, but also with our expertise by bringing, also the young people, to our engineering academies and also co-innovate and really partner with the universities here in the kingdom. Last but not least, I also want to emphasize one point. Doing a transformation is about technology, it's about people, but it's also about courage. It's about realizing that my business is changing. It's about realizing that certain industries are getting disrupted. It's about realizing that when I want to enter the next level of growth and productivity, I have to change how my company runs. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, because this is telling your people, your investors, your customers, we have to change and we have to drive this transformation. So that's my biggest lesson. Being the CEO of SAP, having this courage, driving this change, having strong partners on your side, and embracing this new technology, combining it with smart people, and then it will work. And then we will also turn some of the biggest challenges today in some of our biggest opportunities for the future. And I'm convinced that altogether we can make sustainability profitable and profitability sustainable. The one thing comes with the other. It's not about being sustainable and not profitable. The technology is there to do both in harmony together. Again, thanks for having me. Thanks for your attendance. And I wish now everyone a great event. And all the best. Take care.